Hey Pisces, welcome to your September reading. I've been MIA for a while. I don't know if you guys have followed me for a long time or if this is your first time watching me, but I'm slowly tiptoeing back into consistent readings on YouTube. I had to take some time away for personal stuff. So I'm actually really excited to get back into this and do readings for you guys. My schedule may be really slow for right now. May just be doing kind of one video a month for each sign just until I know more about what my schedule looks like. But yeah, we'll see how things go. Maybe adding some different content depending on how I feel and, what I have time for. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. Spiritual team, Steampunk Tarot, what messages do you have for the Pisces collective? What messages do you have for the Pisces collective? And Pisces, I am getting over a cold, so if you hear me like sniffling or coughing or just not quite sounding normal, that's why. All right, let's see what we have. 5 of Swords. Four of Cups, Death, 9 of Swords, and the Hierophant. What's going on here, Pisces? What's going on here? See a lot of, I was going to say attitude, but maybe resistance is a better word. A lot of stubbornness. Resistance to change, for sure. Okay. Resistance to conformity. Seeing a lot of resistance to conformity, and I feel like you guys are being called to do something a little bit more traditional right here with the Hierophant. But that's the last thing you guys want to do. Honestly, like you're literally going out of your way to find every single opportunity to not have to do this. I don't know what this is. This could be going back to school. This could be getting married in a traditional sense. This could be, I don't know, taking on a traditional job. Literally anything. I don't know what this is yet, but this is the general energy. It's like Pisces is over here in the corner, arms folded, literally arguing, debating with everyone that's like, hey, you should think about, this. And you're like, I don't want to hear it. Nah, 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 nah. I'm not doing it. No, ma'am. And this is why I'm not going to do it. And this is why you shouldn't do it either. And everyone's like, okay, but I mean, if you did this, like life would be so much easier. And you're like, yeah, no. Sorry. Oh, God. I have moments like this too. So I get it. I'm a Scorpio. I'm not a Pisces, but I mean, we can be kind of hard-headed as water signs. A lot of people associate that with maybe like an earth sign or a fire sign, but water signs can be just as stubborn, Nothing wrong with it. It's just who we are. Anyways, let's get into the bottom of the deck. We have the 6 of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups, the Empress, the 7 of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, some of you, this could be related to like finances, but not necessarily just about career and jobs. For some of you it is. For some of you it's like getting a traditional job like literally makes you want to scream, jump off a cliff, bury your head in the sand, swim in shark infested waters. I don't know. You would rather do literally anything other than get a traditional job, right? For some of you, it isn't necessarily that though. Like some of you, it may be investing in certain things like a 401k or an IRA or something that helps you maintain long-term stability, wealth, and financial planning. Some of you guys may have avoided this because you don't like the idea of it or it confuses you or whatever. Insert reason here. Or you guys just don't trust banks, you don't trust other people with your money, you'd rather save everything in cash, right? And I feel like something has come up, some sort of situation has come up that has kind of pushed you towards making this decision or shown you that you need to do something differently because things are getting either harder or it's not working out the way that you would like to or had planned to. Does that make sense? Again, this could be different for everybody. It doesn't even have to be about finances, doesn't even have to be about work. But those are just examples for what I'm feeling here. It's like there's an opportunity for you to progress your life in some way, to protect your stability, your income, your savings, whatever. There's an option out here that is a really good option that provides you with stability, with even growth. But it's like you would rather just avoid all of the advice that you're being given, and you just don't want to do anything about it at all, or keep doing the thing that you've been doing up until this point. Now I have the Empress card here, which talks about, you know, growth, stability, fertility. Okay. I mean, I'm still getting strong finances. Maybe this is about pregnancy and fertility, literally, but I don't get that 100%. Maybe here and here, but other than that, I mean, it just feels like this is about something else. This is talking about like long-term planning, right? So whether this is investing for your kids, you know, okay. Trigger warning. I'm going to talk about, you know, the end of life here, okay? Some of you guys, I don't know what your health situation is. I don't know if you are currently sick. I don't know if you have a parent that is sick. I don't know if someone in your life is sick, whatever it is, but it feels like this talks about financial planning for when someone passes away. What is going to happen to your children? What are your children going to be left with? How are you going to take care of kids or people in your life in general? What's going to happen? Someone may be really holding on to not doing it because either they don't like the process of doing it, they don't like doing insurance, or they don't like setting up trusts or wills or whatever the case may be. But it feels like this is something that's really necessary to think about, because how else, like, let's say, you know, you have 4 kids. How are they going to split up the wealth if there's no concrete direction from you or whoever that talks about how that's to be divided up, or who's responsible for what, or what happens to the house, or what happens to the cars, jewelry, etc. That's what this feels like. Wow, okay, a little intense, a little bit more intense than I was thinking. This may even not have to be you guys. Maybe this is a parent or a grandparent or someone that's being very, very resistant to going through this process, right? So take what resonates. If this doesn't feel like this is anything you're going through, then it's probably not for you. Don't try to force this. But I feel like this person, whether it's you or someone else, it feels like they don't do this because it's overwhelming and there's too many choices and there's too many things that could potentially go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Especially if this is talking about investing. Could you lose a lot of money? Could this happen? Could the money disappear completely? You know, what's fair? What's right? There's a lot of questions that are probably morally, you know, triggering, or wealth triggering. Maybe this is something that happened to somebody in their life personally where things didn't turn out the way that they, you know, had envisioned. Whatever the case is, it feels like there's someone here just really struggling with the reality that this is a necessity. Okay. Okay, and then going back to some of the other examples, so traditional job, you know, how do you know what's really best for you, or if you're getting the best situation in a, you know, job environment? How do you know that you're investing into a 401k company that's going to be there by the time you need it? What happens if you lose all your savings? What if the bank closes? Things like that. Like all of these anxieties and fears surrounding what could go wrong, instead of taking action and finding something that is generally going to improve your overall life, potentially, even if it's temporarily, right? Something that allows you to progress in a way that is ultimately in tune with what we want later on down the line. Does that make sense, Pisces? I'm not getting any clear feedback or advice for you at this point, and I've been going on for 10 minutes. I need to go on to the other part of the reading, but maybe the oracle decks will help with this. But overall, that's the situation that I'm getting. I'm going to move on to the Untamed Elemental Oracle. Spiritual team, Untamed Elemental, what messages do you have for the Pisces collective? What messages do you have for the Pisces collective? Maybe this will give us a little bit more advice on what to do here. Okay, so we have the Scorpion. Okay, funny enough, we have the Death card, which is Scorpio energy. Love to see it. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun. Okay. Yeah, so the Scorpion definitely talks about adaptation to me, being able to adapt. Scorpions typically live in very hot, desert type of environments. So learning to adapt and change with the times, or as things pop up, out of necessity, we may need to change and do things that we are not typically comfortable with. Okay, the Sun could be illuminating this need for something to occur, for something to change, okay? Or it could be highlighting specific fears that we need to move past or change within ourselves, so that way we can succeed and have greater, success or outcome results in our lives. I'm going to go ahead and read from the guidebook on these two cards because I'm not super familiar with them, so that way we can get a deeper message for you guys. All right, so Scorpion says, Scorpion medicine arrives when you need to recommit to your passion for earthly life. The soul evolves through your bodily experiences, which are adorned by many wholesome pleasures. It's time to embrace them. With her deadly defenses, Scorpion is not encumbered by a fear of passion. In fact, it is her attraction to intensity that keeps her safe. Call upon Scorpion when your own passion feels pale, and allow her to guide you through the night toward the dawning of fresh enthusiasm for your human experience. It's very odd because based on that description alone, I wouldn't necessarily associate the Scorpion with your message. The only place where I do see, being in touch with earthly luxuries would be the Empress. And again, that could talk about, for me, how I said investments. So this could be the opportunity to invest in something that allows you to potentially watch your money grow, and therefore allow you to experience things with a bigger income or savings, that you get to experience life in a different way, right? But overall, I'm just going to go with my gut instinct and the initial energy that I pulled from the Scorpion card in terms of change, adapting, okay? So adapting your processes in order to meet your goals and your needs. Whether that's reinvesting money, reinvesting your direction, being more in tune with, what is needed at this time that may have not worked in the past, or may have worked in the past and now needs to be something different. Does that make sense? Excuse me. All right, sorry Pisces. Let's move on to the Sun. Okay, so the Sun says, Sun reveals that by giving undivided attention to your inner luminosity, you free it to shine outward, illuminating the way for others. This is the way of life we evolved to serve. Just as sun's light, just as sun's light serves all life on earth, your light serves all whom you know. Continue to invigorate your inner light so that you become a pharos of clarity and wisdom. This is not a purely selfless path. As you offer your service, its radiating warmth is reflected back by all who benefit, and you are remunerated in multiples. That was a really tricky word, remunerated. Never read that word before, remunerated. Okay. So interesting that we have the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups here with the Sun card. This talks about giving back, right? Equal give and take, talks about innocence, can talk a lot about giving for the joy of giving. And then we have the Hierophant, which can also talk about mentorship. So this could, in a way, be you guys avoiding giving back in some way, which could in turn kind of feed you and nurture you in turn, and help you grow in a roundabout way. for those of you where I said this is potentially someone working with a will or inheritance of some sort, or putting things in writing in terms of what people get, can be a form of leadership in that you're showing your family, people around you, you know, what it is that we need to do in order to show others that we care. And I know not everything on this earth is something to be worshipped or strived for, but really just kind of taking charge of your life, and even taking charge of your death, can be meaningful in so many ways, not just to you, but to others. I'm not really sure if I'm explaining that correctly, if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, but in my head it makes sense. So hopefully you guys are understanding that. But this does really talk about leadership and kind of enjoying the process of not only life while we're young enough to live it, but also to enjoy and share that with those that are coming up behind us, passing on that wisdom, that leadership, that strength, that gratitude. Okay. And that can be gratifying in and of itself, passing that along to others. All right, I'm going to move on to the final deck. This reading has gone on a lot longer than I expected. We're going to do the Moonology Manifestation Oracle. So spiritual team, Moonology Manifestation Oracle, what final messages do you have for the Pisces collective? All right, we have a card that flew out. I'm not going to take it 100%, but we have the new moon in Taurus, which says know your worth. Okay. All right. Sorry, I have to sneeze. That's why I'm not talking. I was trying to hold it in as best I could. It may still come out, but we'll see. All right. What messages, final messages do we have for the Pisces collective? It was coming again. I could feel it. Okay. At the top of the deck, we have the first quarter moon in Capricorn. Unleash your kindest self. Okay. So again, that talks about mentorship. That talks about giving back in more ways than one. It also, for me, kind of talks about being kind to yourself and not making things harder on yourself than it needs to be, right? If you recognize that something needs to change, if you recognize that something needs to be adjusted in how you go about doing something, yeah, try not to freaking be hard on yourself and prevent yourself from, you know, doing something that you know you need to do in order to excel. At the bottom of the deck, we have the last quarter moon in Capricorn. It says, leave the past behind. Okay, so fears, resentments, issues, or preconceived notions about things that you have avoided for a very long time. Okay, all of those things that are potentially going to help you in a lot of ways, right? Okay, oh, I just heard something else. For some of you, it's going to a doctor. Actually seeing a doctor. Some of you guys avoid going to doctors. I don't know why that came up. That's for health. Anyways, so leaving preconceived notions of something behind when you absolutely need to attack this, handle this, and improve some area of your life. I hope that makes sense, Pisces. I was kind of all over the place with you guys, so I do apologize. Hopefully the messages were understandable. But I really appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the reading, if you resonated with it, please leave a like and a comment. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out. It helps out the channel a lot. If you want to see more content from me, I'm on Instagram and TikTok. All my info on my other socials are below in the description box, as is my website. If you want to schedule a personal reading with me, you can link up with me through there. That's all I'm seeing for you guys at this time. So please take care of yourselves. Have a great day. Have a great week, month, whatever. And hopefully I will see you guys next time. Bye.